Hello, everyone. I'm your host, Mackenzie Jacob, and welcome back to Dressed Rehearsal, the podcast where Broadway and fashion take center stage, and we dive deep on the roles that shape us on stage and off.
Today's episode, we are welcoming Jennifer Duka to the podcast. Jennifer is making her Broadway debut in The Lost Boys a mere weeks after graduating from NYU. Talk about a wild ride. We discuss what it was like performing in the opening number at the Tony Awards with Pink, the lessons that she's learned from the leaders of this company, like director Michael Arden and Tony winner Shoshana Bean, as well as what it means to her to be a Filipina in this business and finding community in her idols like Ibla Novizada, Lea Salonga, and really bringing representation to the stage. Be sure to check out Jennifer as Alan Frog in The Lost Boys on Broadway. I mean, there are rock and roll hits from The Rescues, there are flying vampires, there is heart and family and fun. You won't want to miss this one. Welcome, Jennifer Duka, to the podcast. How are you, Jennifer?
Doing great. How are you doing? Thanks for having me.
I'm good. I'm so excited to chat with you. We start with every episode. How did you first get bit by the theater bug?
Ooh, oh my gosh. Okay. I grew up like my mom would like whenever she was doing like the dishes or like cleaning the house, like she would play these CDs of like Broadway cast recordings. And so like in the house, I remember hearing like Les Mis or like Miss Saigon, Once on This Island, or like Jesus Christ Superstar, just like some of my mom's favorites. And that was kind of my first introduction into like musical theater and those kind of songs and sounds.
She has
And
good taste.
yeah, I know, right? Really good musicals. But I think Les Mis is really what did it for me. I remember that movie, watching the movie
Mhm.
and really loving that. And I have to owe my theater love also to Glee because they did a lot of like numbers from there.
Yep.
And like Rachel Berry singing On My Own as her like audition song.
Hmm.
Like that was the very first song that I ever performed like on a stage by myself, either my freshman or like sophomore year in high school. And in that moment, I was like, whoa, like I've never gotten this type of feeling from anything else that I've ever done in my life because I grew up playing like sports was like my whole thing. So I've been playing soccer since I was 5 and like grew up playing softball. And for a long time, I thought that was what I wanted to do. Like I wanted to try to get recruited, play professionally. But then that moment on my own, on that stage, like something just shifted and I was like, I need to explore this because this feels like it could be something special.
Hey, it's very Finn of you.
Yeah. Right?
I saw a TikTok yesterday that was like, you can tell in 10 minutes if someone's a Gleek or not a Gleek, and it shows up in adulthood, and you can't undo it. Like, the people that get it, and the ones that don't,
Yep.
do not.
Yeah, whenever that can be like make or break for me. I'm like, wait, did you watch Glee? And when people are like, no, I'm like, oh,
Right.
okay.
It's like a good temp check of like, are you gonna get me? And like
Yeah,
insane off color, just like whack job references, or are you just gonna be like, huh?
exactly.
And I heard that you had like pretty intense stage fright in high school. How did you like overcome that?
My gosh. I think it took a lot of practice, just like putting yourself in those situations, no matter how scary they may be,
Hmm.
reminding myself to breathe, and also like the people and the friendships that I made and people I met doing theater, like in high school, like that drama community, everyone was so supportive. And so anytime I was like freaking out or feeling really nervous, someone would be there to encourage me, let me know that it's okay, or like squeeze my hand and be like, you got this. And yeah, I feel like I, I feel like I still get it now, honestly.
Really?
Yeah, yeah. I mean, it's nice sometimes with the lights, like you can't really see the audience and stuff, but I mean, they're there. That's that looming presence.
Mhm.
But I think that's also what's so exciting about what we do with live theater, and it's just the moment that you have there, and you're all sharing it together and it's not going to be repeated again because it's always different every time. But yeah, I still get nervous.
I went to the Jimmy's this week, and I think it's such a good grounding reminder of like, yes, it's a competition. Yes, it's so intense now, and I feel like it's probably so cutthroat behind the scenes, but just to like watch these kids like freak out and just like be there for each other when like the
Mhm.
stakes probably feel so, so high.
My God, yeah.
And just to know like there are other people going through it and like everyone is nervous and it's not
Mhm.
just you.
Yeah, exactly. Oh my
It,
gosh.
I mean, the talent on that stage too, insane.
I've literally been trying to rewatch. I wasn't able to watch the live stream like live that Monday night. I watched as much of the live stream as I could when it was still up on YouTube. So I got through like all the character medleys and like the opening number. Like it was so cool. I didn't know that they sang "If We Make It Through the Night" from
Yeah.
Lost Boys. I was like, oh, whoa, that's cool.
Well,
Um,
and your fellow frog brother was on stage as a
oh
former
my
Jimmy.
God, yes, Miguel got
Hmm.
he got to sing with, was it
Mackenzie Kurtz.
Mackenzie Kurtz? Yeah, he was he was like trying to figure out like, oh, I think I'm gonna do this little riff here, or like trying to bounce ideas off of each other.
I mean, you're not that far out for being that age. You just graduated from school so recently from
Yeah.
NYU. And you got to play like such fun roles. Like you did like Connie in a chorus line. Like, are there any
Yeah.
roles from high school or college that you're like, dang, I would love to bring that to Broadway one day?
Ooh, oh my gosh. I did my very first musical in high school was Rent, which was like such a cool
For a high school, oh my
yeah,
God.
for high school too. I was like now thinking like now that I'm older, I'm like, I can't believe we were like, did we really understand what we were
No,
doing
absolutely
at
not.
that age? Like talking about the AIDS crisis and all of this. Like, I don't know, but I was like in the ensemble, but I also got to do the Seasons of Love solo, and that was like a really special moment. I feel like that would be really cool. Or even if I got to play like either like Joanne or Maureen, like, I mean, that would be
I see
really
it.
cool.
I see
Yeah.
it. And you are currently making your Broadway debut this season in The Lost Boys. And it's like the talk of the town. I feel like people are like obsessed. Like even during previews, I feel like there were people that had already seen it like 10 times, which
Oh
is
my,
wild.
yes.
But the production didn't have an out of town tryout. And so I'm curious, like, how are you feeling during previews? Like, what did that really teach you just about like trusting yourself?
Wow, yeah. I mean, with this being my Broadway debut, I mean, I really had no idea what stepping into this world would be like. I mean, it was like a dream, like Broadway, that's what I wanted to do. But it's, oh my gosh, it's hard, hard work, but it's so rewarding in the end. Like the preview process was actually crazy. I think we had one of the longest preview processes too. It was like 30 previews, which I didn't know was like
Sense because it's like
abnormal.
a wild show with like flying and special effects and like
Yeah.
all these insane things, but still like you're changing a lot every day for a new musical. Like I don't know how you train your brain to do that.
Yeah, I mean, if you had seen the show from our very first preview and then you saw what it is now, like the Frozen version, it's wildly different. I mean, we had like two full songs cut. Like I know there was like a time in previews where the Frog Brothers songs, like they were just tinkering around with it so much. So it'd be like one day, like, oh, this little verse is taken away. Oh, we're putting it back, but we're taking this away here. And like just everything changing so much. And like you would have rehearsal in the afternoon from like 12 to 5 rehearsing changes, and then you just like put it in that night and be like, yeah, do you have it? You got the change, and be like, I don't know. Let's see. Let's try it in front of 1,700 people.
Okay.
It was so wild. It was basically like 12 to 12 and then wake up, go do it the next day for like 30 days. But I'm really, really proud of all of us for making it to opening night, being able to celebrate and have that moment and share it with like each other and like our friends, family who came to see the show that night. And I'm just really proud of this company and proud to be a part of it.
And you're also one of like I think 17 Broadway debuts or something like that. Did you feel comfort in the fact that there were so many other people that were going through this journey for the first time?
Yeah, I definitely did. I mean, it was like really cool, like earlier in the process where like you'd kind of be talking about, oh yeah, like, this is my debut, and they'd be like, wait, what? This is my debut too, and be like, oh my God, congratulations, congratulations! Like sh being able to share that together was so cool, and like I know it's so crazy. Dean, like this is the very first musical he's ever done, like period, which is so
Okay, 0 to
insane.
100.
Yeah, it's like so, so crazy. And the talent in this cast is unmatched. And also, just everyone is such a lovely person. And even the people who have been doing this or have had experience, like they've been such role models and like mentors and always open for like talking about things that people like us who it's our first time doing it wouldn't know. So it's a really special group of people. Yeah.
So I was gonna say, like, it feels like there's so much love in the company at the Palace. And so, what do you feel like you've learned from those leaders in the company?
Oh my gosh. I mean, I learned something new about acting like every day I'm on stage with Paul Alexander Nolan and Shoshana Bean. I mean, she will pull out these crazy like riffs like every now and then. And one day I was just like, do you like have you been like messing with that or like were you planning on doing that? And she was like, it just comes out of my mouth. And I was like, that is so insane. The artistry in that and like the confidence that you need to have in yourself as like a singer and like a person to like do that and try that in front of so many people. And also like they're so humble and they're so honest, and the vulnerability that they show on stage too is it's really inspiring, and I feel so lucky to be learning from them who've been doing like this for so long and have done so many shows. Like yeah, it's amazing. I can't believe I get to share the stage with them. Like that's cool.
And like, how perfect for your debut, because then now, like, as you go on to shows in the future, like, you know what leadership looks like.
Mhm.
And you even think to like maybe in their position they've been doing this for so long, there's like a thing of, oh, I want to like look perfect for everyone else and like be this
Yeah.
perfect leader. But I feel like people that are honest with like, oh no, I'm struggling with this too, like that never goes away, is so
Yeah.
much more valuable for you, because then you're not going to feel down the line when you're kind of like the elder in the room that you can't be fully vulnerable with people.
Yeah, I mean, I know one thing, like I feel like we look up to like these huge like Broadway legends and Broadway veterans, and you think like, oh my God, they're so perfect and all this, but like there have been so many instances where like both me and Shoshana will be like, I'll be like in her dressing room and she'll be like beating herself up about this one moment on stage, or like, oh, I sounded horrible here, or like, oh, I flubbed this line or whatever. And it's comforting because like it makes those moments where I'm like super hard on myself too, or like if I make a mistake, like it, it's nice to know that, it's a human thing. And these people who've been doing this for so long, like they make those same mistakes too, no matter how long you've been doing this. It's inevitable. Like not every show is going to be perfect. That's not even a thing. So how do you pick yourself back up after that?
Right. And I guess you could think of it as the opposite of film, where it's like you want to get the best take because that's in it forever. But like
Mhm.
flubbing a line or like messing up in your head, whatever that might be, that's kind of like a fun challenge for the next day of like, oh, I'm gonna go and figure it out tomorrow. And I'm sure that
Yeah.
like in the monotony of doing it every single night makes it more exciting.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. Or if like Michael will come and like give a little note for this moment here, something else to think about, or like one of our assistant directors, Henry, like will come and give a note. I love when like I get happy when I see them because I'm like, ooh, yay, something new to work on and to think over, and makes it new and fresh and fun, which yeah, that's been something that I've been trying to work with and figure out, because before this, the longest run of a show I'd ever done was like 10 shows. And now we've done, I think this is going to be like performance number 70 or something. And that's like not even including previews. So it's a lot more than what I've done in the past. Yeah.
Right, like school never prepares you for it. And I did want to talk about your director, Michael Arden, because he is like such a change maker in the industry. And I feel like he is so good at taking big swings and just trying to see how much we can push theater forward. So what do you feel like you learned from him during this whole process?
Oh my gosh. Well, I look up to him so much, and I feel so lucky to know him and to be a collaborator with him, because truly he created such a open and welcoming space. Like, even from when we started rehearsals, it wasn't just like he had this idea and he was going to push forward with it and we had to all like do what he said, but it was really like bouncing ideas off of each other. If we had some idea about our character, their backstory, or some moment in a scene or a song, like we could he made it feel like a space where we could share that. And we it would be figuring out the scene together, figuring out like, okay, well, what does your impulse like want you to do for like blocking here? Where do you want to move? And like it was really, really such a lovely experience working with him. And he's so smart. I don't know, he sees things in like in some he has such a unique way of being able to see like zero in on like these moments and these scenes, but also like step outside of it and see the big picture and how the whole story works cohesively. And he does such a beautiful job of that in this show. Like, I know something that we worked on was finding what was the tone of our show, because there's so much happening. There's like the drama with all the vampires, and like there's like this love story, but then there's like the silly, kooky, like Frog Brothers and Sam. And I feel like that was something we were trying to find throughout previews, is how do we make sure that we're not like being whiplashed back and forth between like two different, like all these different storylines, but that they all kind of feel like we're all living in the same world. And I know at times if I've been struggling or like I feel like I'm beating up on myself too hard, I always remember what Michael says about the most important thing is that you're understood and that you're heard by the audience so that they know what's going on. So if you can make sure that you're doing those two things and you're putting your attention on your scene partner rather and taking it off of yourself, that's what you need to keep this, and making sure that telling the story comes first and foremost.
Think it's because he was an actor first that like he can zone in and see like the macro, because having that perspective, I'm sure for you just like it speaks your language and it makes it so much easier to like understand.
Yes, sure. I definitely feel that, especially in the way that he talks with like all of us. Yeah, I don't know. He's so he's so amazing. And I just saw the Lincoln Center announcement, like he's doing A Few Good Men. Like,
He doesn't stop.
yeah, I know he's just got project after project lined up, and I can't wait to see what he does in the future. And I just feel so lucky that I got to work with him on a path in his illustrious career.
Totally. I mean, you even look at like maybe Happy Ending, Queen of Versailles, Lost Boys. Completely all such different shows.
So different.
And I feel like a lot of times you can look at a director and kind of see the through line of like, oh, they like this type of show.
Yeah.
But he is really all over the map, which is really cool. And I think like a way to stretch yourself as an artist, and like you can pull something from one show that you wouldn't think would make sense, like in The Lost Boys, but it does because you're doing it in a new and different way. So I think it's
Yeah.
very cool. And another really special part of this journey is you got to be part of Pink's iconic opening number at the Tony Awards. I need you
Yes.
to just like take us through your day. Like, what was going through your mind?
Oh my gosh. Tony's is a once in a lifetime experience. That day was insane. When I tell you I was literally up at 6 a.m. and then did not go to bed till 6 a.m. the next
Insane.
day or the next morning, like literally, that is how I was up for literally 24 hours. But it was like the most insane and most wonderful 24 hours of my life. We had like dress rehearsal in the morning at Radio City. But first we had to go to the palace to like get ready and stuff, and then they bussed us there for the dress rehearsal. And like I couldn't believe the people that I was doing this opening number with. I was like, oh my God, that's literally Neil Patrick Harris on stage with Pink. And like I remember at rehearsals looking at like the little seat seat cards, like where people were
Yeah.
sitting, and like I was like, oh my God, I'm literally gonna be dancing in front of Leslie Odom Jr. Like, oh my God, that's so insane. But it was so cool being there. And then bust us back to the palace, did our matinee show for that Sunday. And
Insane.
then yeah,
Insane.
I can't believe we did a show that day. But then we had like a little break to like eat some food, and then we got ready again, and then they bussed us back to Radio City, and they were like shuffling us in through like some backstage corridor, and then it was the opening number. And I still remember the feeling like when they like when you could hear that they were about to like go live on CBS, like the buzz in the room, like you could just feel like the energy in the atmosphere, but also like this silence as they were counting down from like 10, 9, 8. And it was so cool. Like I just felt so much energy reverberating throughout me and like everyone there. And like also people in the Lost Boys had already run like one, like Michael had already won for lighting, like with Jen, and like he came over and like we all got to hold the Tony, and I was like, oh my God, it's so heavy. Like it was insane. And then when Shoshana won, that was I literally was like sobbing, crying because I look up to her so much, and like I was just so happy that she's finally getting this moment and the recognition that she deserves. And then when Ali won, oh my God, we were like they were trying to get us backstage because we were about to perform like the Lost Boys number. And so we were all like in this elevator as they were announcing it. And then as soon as we heard his name, we were like screaming and jumping up and down in this elevator. And like, we could have probably died in that elevator. It felt like a near like Hollywood Tower of Terror like moment.
Yeah.
We were just so shocked and like so excited for him. And then when we went out and did like Have to Have You, like it was like the energy was just insane because we were just so proud and happy. And we were like, we're gonna go out there and kill it and rock the stage. And then partied till 6 a.m., I guess.
I
It
mean,
was
it is wild. Like the rush of, I heard Marla Mandela said that she was literally like, they were counting down, like, for her to perform on GMA when she found out she got the Tony nomination. Like, she was like about to perform and she was like, oh, can freak out, but like need to lock in. And the
yeah.
fact that you guys got to ride the wave of Shoshana and Ali winning with like these epic, just like roars of applause. Like Shoshana, it feels like it's such a testament to like you just have to keep going and like you might
Yeah.
not get the accolades like every single thing you do, even though you might deserve it. But like if
Mhm.
you care about something enough and you love it enough, like and you keep going, like that will come. And then Ali just like to have this epic just I mean, the
Yeah.
performance of a lifetime, and then for you guys to perform. I mean,
Yeah.
it was like the perfect pregame ever for like a performance. Like, just what a high, you know?
Yeah. Yeah. I really like I hope that my body remembers like all of the feelings and emotions that I was going through on that day because it was such a roller coaster. It was like I wanted to like there's so many moments where I felt like crying out of like anxiety and like nervousness,
Mhm.
but also like so many like tears of joy too. I it was crazy. It was crazy.
And also, like, you think about something like a win like Shoshana had, it's like, I heard Stephanie J. Blog talk about where she thought she was going to win earlier in her career and it didn't
Mhm.
happen for her. And she was like, it was meant to happen because then I could stand out on the stage and look at a sea full of people that I knew and I had like babysat their kid or like I had gone to college with them. Like it felt so much better than like if you win at like 19 years old and like that's amazing and that's a great debut, but like
Mhm.
the feeling of knowing that like the community is there for you. And I feel like the Lost Boys is such a special time to have won that for both of them. So, I
Yeah.
mean, it couldn't have worked out better than it was supposed to.
Mhm.
But another very epic milestone is that you guys recorded the Broadway cast album. So,
Yes.
what can you tell us about that experience? Like, how are you feeling?
Yeah. Oh my gosh. I don't know. That feels so long ago. It really wasn't like when we last recorded it. I don't think when I first got the job, I realized like, oh my God, wait. yeah, I'm gonna get to like be on an original Broadway cast recording, and like someone's gonna like play my song on like Spotify, and like my name's gonna like show up there.
Insane.
Um, which is so cool. I never like recorded anything in like a real like recording studio before. So I remember on the first day being like a little bit nervous. Like LJ, like when he was in there, he was like asking for like all these like types of settings and like things to like hear. And I was like, oh my God, I don't know what that means. I didn't even
You're
really
like
figure
beep
out
boop
how
bop,
to,
like what is going on?
yeah.
Yeah.
I like didn't figure out how to use any of the buttons or like knobs until like the second day in the studio. So I was feeling a little like, oh, I don't know what I'm doing here. But it was such a cool experience, and to be able to like share it with like everyone too, to like be in the studio and like hear everyone's raw vocals because everyone just sounds so amazing. Which that was also a little daunting too. I was like, oh my God, I have to like sing Murder Capital and like all of these songs like back to back to back, where I was like, oh my God, how's my voice gonna hold up doing all these things? But I had such like full trust in the rescues who were like behind listening back, and they know their music so well and they know what things to listen for. Same with like Ethan Pop, and like Julie McBride was in the room with us too. It was really fun because the rescues were kind of having us try out like different things, and they have such a way of communicating with us too, like what they're looking for in the songs, but also still working with us so that we feel like our flair and our sound is also still going to be held intact on the tracks. It was just a really cool experience. Yeah.
And how awesome, like every night I'm sure you're like doing something a little bit different, but like to pick a version that like some kid in like 20 years is gonna hear is so special.
Yeah.
And we also have to talk about your opening night look and what was like the inspiration behind it. It was so perfect for the show.
I think about honestly, before I go into like my look specifically, I remember like when we stepped out on the carpet and I like saw everyone's looks, because I don't think I talked with a single person about what they
It
were wearing.
looked like all in one mood board. Every
We
single person,
Yes.
it was so cohesive. I was like, well, that's just, I think, because you guys are so tight knit at this point. But it was one brain cell on all of those looks.
Yes. No, but I really don't think any of us really like talked about like exactly what we were going to be wearing or like what color, but all of us just sort of like locked in, or were like of the same like what you said, like
Yeah,
the same brain cell, and we
yeah,
all just kind of we just understood the assignment, you know what I mean?
correct.
But with my look, I knew that I wanted to showcase like my Filipino heritage, and I wanted that to be a part of introducing myself into like the theater world and Broadway. I wanted to kind of make a statement with that because it's such a huge part of my identity and who I am. And so one of my friends from school, he was looking into like Filipino designers in the city and got me matched up with Bessie Besana. He grew up in the Philippines, but he's been like working here in New York for like years now. And so I just got to meet with him and talk through kind of my ideas, what I wanted. I'm really grateful for him because he had a great way of like I don't usually talk about, oh, like I like this kind of like cuts or like these things on like what I'm wearing. I don't know if I've really had an opportunity to think about that until my first like red carpet experience.
Totally.
So I'm really grateful that he was able to kind of take the mush of what I was saying and turn it into something beautiful like this. But I'm really happy with how it turned out, and I really loved the sleeves. Like it got made like in the Philippines specifically because like they do it like their specific way over there, and then got it shipped back over here in time for opening. I knew kind of that I wanted to go with red. I thought that that would be it fits with the show, but it also would be a big standout, I think, on the carpet. And the jewels too, like that was something I was a little like, oh, I don't know how it's gonna look at first, but I'm really glad that we added it because I don't know. I feel like it fit with the vibe of the show as well. And then the gloves, the black kind of sheer gloves and the tights, those were also like a late inclusion as well. But I think that also was a big statement piece as well. I don't know. I'm just honestly surprised that it all pulled
Together.
itself together in the end. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it was so like glam, but like rocker. It just had like all the elements that you want it to have.
Hmm.
And I think it's so special that you were able to bring the Philippines into it. And I feel like storytelling is like such a special part of Filipino culture. And so I'm
Yeah.
curious like how your heritage really has influenced the kind of stories that you want to tell.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. I mean, when I was growing up, and once I started to get into the world of theater and performing, and when that started to become something that I was seriously considering as the future that I wanted, I remember being like, oh man, like I'm not used to seeing people who look like me like on the stage or on screen. And so that's why like my role models were like Eva Noblezada and Lea Salonga. And
Mhm.
I was kind of just like it. That's all I really knew who was also doing this and really successful at it too. But that's why all the productions that like they did when Lea Salonga did like the Les Mis anniversary concert and when she was in Miss Saigon and then even Noblezada being in Hadestown, like these all became like dream roles for me. And now that I got to like originate my own role and kind of bring myself to it on that stage. It's been so cool because there have been like a lot of like Filipino people who have come to see the show and like will tell me that, it's so cool like seeing someone else who's Filipino on stage and like or telling me that like Alan Frog is now like a dream role for them. Like, I don't know. That's if I can be that person for some little kid or other people out there, like, I mean, that's all I can hope for in what I do. And I'm just glad that I can now be what like even Noblezada or Lea Salonga was to me. That's just so cool. Even saying that out loud now. I
Mhm.
don't know if I fully processed the impact that I could have on someone. Yeah.
It's true. So we had Tatiana Cordoba on the podcast, who was the leader of Real Women Have Curves last season. And she was
Okay.
like, yeah, Filipinos show up. She's like, they're all at the stage door. And I saw that you went to the Asian American and Pacific Islanders like Broadway luncheon. And I just want to know like how special it was to like be welcome to Broadway with like your community.
Yeah, it was really, really special. I was really excited for it. I was also a little nervous because
Hmm.
I know there was like a couple people in that community in like the production aspect of our show. And like I like knew them, but like I wasn't like super, super close with them, like how I am with the people in my castmates who I'm like
Right.
on stage with all the time. And I was a little nervous because I was like, oh man, like no one else in my cast is like Asian American. So I'm kind of going into this not really knowing anyone. But luckily enough, everyone there was so, so sweet. Or like they approached me saying that like they saw me like in Lost Boys and like they
Awesome.
loved it. Like I got to meet Carl Mann, who's Fiero right now in Wicked, and like he was so lovely and sweet. And then we like just recently did this 54 Below show together. So it's cool making those relationships. I got to like see Eva Noblezada there, like after meeting her when she first came to see the show. And I was like nervous because I was like, oh, I don't know if you remember me, but like she was like, oh my God, hey, like how are you? And like so, so sweet. And then got to meet like other people who were in Hadestown, like or also just I just got to meet so many cool people. And I also didn't realize that people there would also maybe know who I am already.
Hmm.
So that was just really cool. Yeah, really special.
I mean, it is the feeling of like even the first day of college where it's like, oh, maybe you guys all know each other and I
Yeah.
don't. It's like
Yeah.
someone's birthday party where you're like, okay, well, I'm gonna put myself out there. How cool that to be so welcomed and like for people to be like, hey, we want to get to know you and like we want you to be a
Yeah.
part of this.
Mhm.
And to see people like that, like I know Leanna Ray Concepcion, who's in Spelling Bee, she
Mhm.
is also Filipino, and she said in her contract, she was like, I won't sign this contract unless you ensure that like the swing or the understudy that's gonna play this role will also be of color or like of Asian descent. And I was like,
Mhm.
yeah, like you're opening the door for other people, and like now this role for perpetuity like can be part of the community, and it's a really cool legacy beyond just you too, you know?
Mhm. Yeah.
Do you feel like your role kind of is rubbing off on you? Like, do you feel like you're dressing a little more tomboy now? Or do you feel like Jennifer's one thing and your character is another?
I think yes, Alan Frog is its own character
Yeah.
in The Lost Boys, but I mean, I see so many like similarities between me and Alan Frog, and I mean, all I can do on that stage is like be myself and bring myself to any role that I play. So I do think Jennifer Duka and Alan Frog, it's so weird separating the two because when I'm like Alan Frog, I'm like, ah, it's just me. I'm just me.
Right.
So I think, yeah, we're synonymous. I think, like, I know when I was younger, like, I think I would identify like more as like tomboyish
Okay.
rather than like I was not playing with like dolls and like really like into princesses and all of that
Right. You were
growing up.
playing sports.
Yeah, I was playing sports. Like, my mom said that like anytime they try to suggest some like other like Disney princess movie or something, I'd just be like, no, just put on The Lion King and only want to watch that. Um,
Okay.
and I think also like throughout college and like now, I feel like subconsciously or like not really consciously knowing, I have developed a specific like style in the way that I dress. And I think it is kind of it's not necessarily attuned to a certain like gender. I feel like I have like the tomboyish side in the way I dress, but also like I like feeling very feminine too in moments. And I think I like finding ways for those two to exist together. I think it's apparent in my costumes in the show, but also just how I dress like in real life as me. Yeah.
Totally. And I think that's the best part about New York is like you can be one person one day and one person the next.
Yeah.
And you grew up in the Bay Area, which has its like own very distinct sense of style. And
Yeah.
so I'm curious, like when you moved to New York for school, like do you feel like New York changed your style or like
Mhm.
influenced it?
Yes, I think yes, for sure. I feel like there's also a very particular style in the way like people in New York dress. I think more of the like swag and like that I still have kept from the Bay Area. Because also like in California, like it's hot. Like it's hot. And like in the
Yes.
summer, like I don't want to be wearing like socks and like closed-toed shoes and stuff. But when I'm here in the city, I don't think I could bear to have my like
No.
toes and my feet out on the
No,
dirty, dirty New York streets.
absolutely not. I'm with you.
Uh,
I will say, NYU kids, they do dress just like so who they are.
yes.
And it is cool. We had Rod Cyrus on the podcast who is in ragtime, and he
Huh.
went to college. He went to UCLA, and then he went to Juilliard here in the city and for his master's. And he was like, "Yeah, at UCLA, every single person, if you left a jacket, like it could be anyone's Lululemon jacket, like who the hell knows." But he's like at Juilliard, he's like, you know exactly which person's that is because it's just so them. And I feel like NYU is the same way. And so I'm
Mhm.
sure you're like pulling inspo from all your friends too, of just
Yeah.
like, oh, I would never think to pair that together, but like, sick. Maybe I'll
Yes.
do that sometime.
I feel like I I'm not like a big shopper. Like I don't
Okay,
really like going shopping, honestly, or like I have to be in the right mood. I have to be in the mood to like spend money
sure.
or be going with like the right people when I go shop. I
It's
don't know,
such a
but
mental game.
it is. It really is. Because if I'm not in the mood to spend money, like
Everything's
I
dead to
can have
me.
things in my hands that like I really do love, but if I don't want to spend the money on it, it's like, okay. Sometimes I look at my closet, I'm just like, I hate everything in
Yeah,
here.
right.
Or it's like things that I've had for like years and years and years, but I'm such a hoarder. It's really bad. Like I don't want to get rid of things. So I feel like that's also been the challenge of like how can I use what I still have, but like find new and exciting ways to make it feel like fresh or more like who I am now. Or like if I do buy like one new piece here, how can I then pair it and like make it feel like a completely new outfit?
And
So
it's hard to be a hoarder in New York because the closets are not big enough for
there's no
that.
space. There's no space
No.
anywhere.
I want to
Like,
have like funky pieces, but like they have no home.
no. Oh, that's also something is most of my like summer clothes are like back
Yeah.
home in California because that's where I would spend summer. So like all my swimsuits and like everything. It's that weird like because when I was still in college, it was like a split life between my life in California and making sure I still had stuff to use there and then also my life here in New York. But now that I'm out of college and like I have this steady job for now.
Done all the work.
I know, right? It's like, wait, my life right now is here,
hmm
but there's still like that piece of me in California. It's so weird. It's so weird.
And you just like were shot out of a canyon after graduation. You didn't even get to have the second of like closure on one thing. It's just like
Mhm.
straight into it. And I heard people explain it as like your freshman year of post grad. And like talk about an epic freshman year of post
I
grad.
know. I feel really lucky though. I feel really lucky that because in school too, like our teachers would like talk about like, there's gonna be that period of time where you're just like auditioning and you're not gonna get things and you just gotta keep moving and trying. And I'm really lucky that
hmm
at least for me, like right after graduating, I booked this and I had the security of this, which I know is not I think my story is such a rare case. So I think about that sometimes and I'm like, wow, thank you, Chelsea. Thank you. Thank you, everyone on the creative team at The Lost Boys for seeing something in me. Yeah.
To be grateful of it now and like taking stock of that is really important. And I'm so glad I got to talk to you during this like magical time. And I'm curious like what you would tell little Jennifer about this Broadway debut journey. Just like encourage her to keep chasing her dreams.
Yeah. Oh, I'm like getting emotional. I would tell her that no matter what's going on in her life, like hold on to your family. They're always going to be there to support you and never stop believing in yourself because as long as you believe in yourself, then you can go however far you want to and do whatever you want to do and trust that you're going to end up exactly where you need to be.
I mean, what a perfect way to end it.
Yeah.
Thank you, thank you, thank you.
This was such a lovely conversation and such a nice time to chat with you.
And that's our show. Be sure to rate, review, and subscribe to Dressed Rehearsal. If you love theater and fashion as much as we do, invite another diva to join the community. You can find us on Instagram, TikTok, Spotify, Apple Podcast, YouTube, all the places. See you next time.